There's a lot of talk these days about, are we a Christian nation? Are we not a Christian nation? And, well, obviously, it's not obvious to you because you're probably a millennial if you're watching this. Maybe you're Generation Z, and I welcome you. You may have noticed that you're growing up in a generation of losers. Now, that's not a very charitable thing, and a lot of the boomer generation would say, well, don't be judgmental, man, but it's true. You're going to encounter a lot of losers in your life, and it's just kind of a reality of things. Why are millennials mostly losers? Well, millennials are mostly losers because they don't have the benefit of thousands of years of civilization that the greatest generation had. Greatest generation knew that America is the best nation in the world, God's exceptional nation, and they knew Jesus Christ. Most millennials have grown up either in single-parent homes or in mixed, so-called blended families, which are really families of fornication of one style or another. And it's very sad. This is the reality. So I'm talking to those of you who are winners. So if you're a loser, obviously you're going to be offended by by all of this. But if you don't want to be a loser anymore, you should listen, because you will learn something, and you'll learn something very valuable. But you're going to encounter a lot of losers, and one of the reasons that millennials are generally losers and lacking in basic, not even like actual wisdom, because I'm not even talking about, there's wisdom which you have to acquire, and then there's basic common sense, which millennials lack. And millennials lack basic common sense. It's my generation, the majority, of course, not you if you're watching this video, or not you if you aspire to be better. Millennials lack basic common sense because you're inundated on a regular basis with fake news media and with 5G, which is actually weaponized to make you more crazy, so you're going to be more susceptible to advertising. The infotainment and fake news game hasn't really changed as long as it's been around, for about a century. C.S. Lewis talked in his writings about how they always play sentimental types of emotional music at marketplaces, venues of shopping, supermarkets, grocery stores, malls. Why? Because as C.S. Lewis put it in Mere Christianity, a man with an obsession has less sales resistance. In other words, if you're feeling if you are in an entranced state of being, or if you're distracted, you're going to be more likely to buy stuff. Well, with all of these devices, you got your virtual doorbells showing you pictures 24/7 of potential intruders. Some of them maybe little bunny rabbits. You got the fake news also labeling everybody an intruder with a lower third, and furthermore dumping all of these bad people, all these illegals, and so on and so forth in your living room. How are you going to get a moment's peace? How are you going to have any common sense if you lack all of that beautiful silence, that beautiful solitude that our grandparents, our great-grandparents, the greatest generation had, to think about the greater questions of life? What am I here for? What am I doing here? What's it all for? They're questions that need to be answered. And if you are constantly pressing buttons like that proverbial rat in the Skinner box, all of you Fortnite people, where did all the time go? Or World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft people, Fortnite people, you nerds, you keyboard jockeys. You're going to seek the answer to those longings without knowing it. Your subconscious, your deep mind, is going to seek the answer to all of these questions. And you know what the fake news, what Fortnite, what all the infotainment complex people are going to tell you? They're going to tell you that the answer lies in buying a Happy Meal, or buying some kind of insurance policy touted by a talking lizard, or something silly like that. It's true. Or maybe that insurance lady who's named after a moniker for women's periods. But it's all the same at the end of the day. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. This is why millennials are distracted, because if we allow the digital, the infotainment complex to overtake our minds, and so many people do because they don't know any better. This is why most millennials are losers, because they don't know any better. They give no thought to life's greater questions, and that's precisely what we need to do, and it's precisely what Silicon Valley doesn't want you to do, because if you have it all together, if you have direction, if you have a sense of your purpose in life and what you want to accomplish with it, then you're not going to have time for all the silly things that the fake news is touting, like homosexual marriage and maybe I was born a man, but maybe I'm really a woman, or vice versa. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think about it. And that's why the fake news and the left just wants you to not think about it, because if you do think about it, you'll realize how silly the fake news is. Never mind that they're physically assaulting you with 5G if you live in a city. They're cancer-causing devices that Jack Dorsey and his whole ecosystem of Google people are weaponizing against you. It's a weapon in your neighborhood. Those 5G boxes that they're dropping everywhere, and they're going to attempt, if we know anything about Google, they're going to use these boxes, they're going to weaponize these boxes against you. They're putting them in your neighborhood to influence the way that you vote. And that's why you're very wise to tune into America's Man's Man, because unlike all the other channels you may listen to, this channel will actually help you in some way, because it's going to help you to question the things that you take for granted every day. Why am I clicking on this? Why am I why am I binging all these episodes of all this silliness? And the answer really is, when you get down to it, that it wasn't your decision to binge that material. It was a suggestion. It was a suggestion and a habit that you formed a long time ago, not like smoking or homosexuality or a myriad of other bad habits that somehow weaseled their ways into your life, and you have no idea how they got there. This is America's Man's Man, americasmansman.com.